Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be having a discussion about whether Arrow will bring in all Green Arrow characters in the future. So I'm going to be talking about stuff like whether characters like good guys and bad guys of the Green Arrow universe will come into Arrow. Now I'm going to say in characters that some people probably never even heard of in their lives, who probably have not even debuted in any media. So let's get to it. Now, Arrow has done a lot to bring in these characters. Like, they brought in some characters we never even heard of. Characters like Dodger, Constantine Dracon. Well, I've heard of them because Green Arrow's my favorite DC character. So yeah, characters like Constantine Dracon and Dodger, people have never heard of them. People would probably have to, look them up. Unless you're a diehard Green Arrow fan, then you know them. But I'm talking about since how we have a season 2 coming up, and probably other seasons if the future goes well for Arrow. I'm talking about if Arrow will bring in characters like Arrownet or Wildcat. Well, Wildcat's not technically a Green Arrow character, but she has lots to do with Black Canary's origin in terms of training. But yeah, characters like Arrownet or Cupid or Brick or Onomatopitha, characters like that you'd want in Arrow, especially Onomatopitha, because he's been, I think everyone wants him to be the villain of the week. Onomatopitha was created by Kevin Smith. He won Villain of the Decade by IGN. He's a great villain, very unique from the other Green Arrow villains. We've had villains like in Arrow such as Count Vertigo, Merlin, who are obviously the ones who are going to be in. We've even got China White, who was created during Year 1, and some people never even heard her unless they have read Year 1. But yeah, I like the way they've, introduced her into the show. Kelly Who plays a great China White, by the way. Yeah, but still, I hope they actually bring in more than just villains. I just love villains. Like Arrownet. No, wait, sorry, Arrowette. Yeah, Arrowette. I hope it'll be Bonnie King, the first one, because she's one of those kind of vigilantes who are inspired by other heroes. So Arrowette was kind of inspired by Green Arrow and Speedy, and she has archery skills that are like Olympian level. So yeah, she could probably, I'd say she'd probably come in when Green Arrow is more established and he's not being called the Hood anymore, and when Roy Harper's Speedy. Yeah, I would really like it if Bonnie King could join in. Well, unless they could work the second Arrownet in. Well, I would like to know that Arrownet or either be Bonnie King or Cassie. Then yeah, bring them both in. I don't mind. Who else? What other Green Arrow characters could they bring in? Connor Hawk. I don't really think they could bring Connor Hawk in unless, Oliver finds out he has a son that is, maybe a child or something. Or at least make a reference to Connor Hawk. But yeah, let's talk about the villains now. The villains. Green Arrow has brought in a lot of villains, from all over the DC universe. I mean, you've got Deadshot and Firefly, which are Batman villains. Who else? Deathstroke, Teen Titan villain, even though he's had a few run-ins with Green Arrow in the past. Who else? What other villains that are not technically Green Arrow villains? Yeah, you've had bloody even villains that are not that you've never heard of that were in Arrow. probably created for the show, like this Cyrus Vance and Adam Hunt. Yeah, villains like that. They're not even Green Arrow villains. They're just villains for the show. Um, but I reckon if they weren't going to bring in characters that were not Green Arrow characters, I'd say Doctor Light would be among them. Because Doctor Light has had dealings with Merlin in the past, like they both destroyed nearly a third of Starling City, or Star City as it's called in the comics. Um, but yeah, like the top Green Arrow characters I really want to see are Cupid, who pretty much kills nearly all of Green Arrow's villains just to win Green Arrow over, because she's obsessed. Daniel Brick. I'd say he'd be a hard villain to do because his skin is literally made out of brick. I'm not even joking, guys. He's literally made out of brick. You know, that's just like, imagine Gora. You know, he has that sand armor over him. That's like brick, guys. He's got brick all over him. But you know, he's pretty cool. Apart from that, you know, he's a kingpin. He's a crime kingpin. I think that'd be cool. Um, who else? And Onomatopitha, created by Kevin Smith. He'd be a hard villain to do because Kevin Smith has even said it himself that he can't imagine his character, mainly Onomatopitha, you know, done outside of mainstream, you know, television like live action because you know it'd be pretty much. He says it'd be pretty much silly and stupid if every time you like slit this character would slit someone's throat, go like kind of making noises for everything he does, and he said that'd be, you know, pretty stupid. But you know, if I'm pretty sure if they know how to bring out a character, then that would be then they could do it pretty simple. I would prefer if Jeff Johns would write the script though, for like the the hard characters. Like if they were gonna bring in a character like let's say Daniel Brickwell or Onomatopitha, for an episode, I prefer if Jeff Johns would write an episode, or maybe even you know get Jeff Lemire to write an episode because hey, he's doing good stuff with Green Arrow at the moment. Um, what other Green Arrow characters? Rainbow Archer, probably, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the villain because he just you know fights Green Arrow, then he just retires for a few years, for mainly years. Clock King. Depending on what Clock King you want to go to, as long as you don't make his costume look silly, which will be probably impossible because Arrow is based on realism and you know no superpowers. So I wouldn't think that William Tuckman or whatever would wear a stupid costume. Um, now for other Green Arrow characters, I would say seeing as Althea is based on Mia Dearden, and because Dearden is Thea's middle name, I really hope she doesn't get the AIDS, like the STD, the HIV kind of thing, because that'd be kind of bummed, you know. Some people are probably gonna be are fans of the show, and if the writers, the producers, they'll be like, hey, I got an idea because Thea is kind of based on Mia Didden. Let's give her AIDS. You know, stay true to the comics. I'd be pretty bummed out, man, just knowing because Thea is a cool character. Um, right, another character for that is technically a Green Arrow character. Maybe you could get in David Drayson because he's been seen in the list a few times. One of the characters to be killed by Cupid. Um, you know, David Drayson's pretty cool. Who else? But yeah, Green Arrow characters are, you know, lesser known. Like take Arrowhead for example. She could be made into the Batgirl of the Green Arrow family. You know, not probably as iconic as Barbara Gordon or Stephanie Brown, but yeah, I mean Bonnie King would be pretty cool. Now let's talk about characters that are not necessarily Green Arrow characters. They referenced Nightwing they've referenced Nightwing at least a few good times. I mean, Bloodhaven. Hell, even to bring one of his villains, Guillermo Borrera. You know, even though he died in that Dead to Rights episode. Um, Coast City, Green Lantern, of course. Um, Maybe even a cameo from Hal Jordan, because you know, Oliver Queen and Hal Jordan are best mates, no matter what. Um, Also, I've read a few interviews, and you know, apparently they want to bring the Question onto the show because they're trying to get him into. They're trying to get Oliver to travel outside of Starling City, and one of the things they keep mentioning is Hub City. Um, Hub City, I don't know much about the Question apart from the Justice League cartoon, but why not? I mean, to me, the Question's just a meh. If you can bring him in, then bring him in. I just know that in the Justice League cartoon, he was a love interest for the Huntress. That's it. Um, Bloodhaven, I don't mind. Coast City, I don't mind. Um, but overall, I don't know. Plus, also, they keep also mentioning something called Iron Heights, which is the prison the Flash puts his villains in. I swear to God, put a Flash villain on the show. Heatwave, Captain Cold, Weather Wizard, Mirror Master, Abracadabra. If you can do them realistic, then put those villains in. They're cool. I'm not lying, guys. I want to admit I'm sorry. The Flash villains could be just as cool as Batman villains or Spider-Man villains. If they have enough live-action portrayals or enough exposure, they could be cool. Because hey, Spider-Man villains are bright and colorful. Batman villains are, you know, dark and deadly, dark, twisted and deadly. Flash villains, just epic for their epicness. You know, who doesn't love Zoom? Who doesn't love Captain Cold? Who doesn't love Gorilla Grodd? If you could put in one of those members and do them in a realistic way, you will have my guaranteed view. But overall, yeah, that's it. What characters in Arrow do you want to see? Like, you know, leave it in the comments below, because I tell you, for me personally, I want Green Arrow characters. But yeah, or mainly someone from the Rogues. But yeah, if you want, you know, any characters, tell me what characters you want in the comments below. Leave that like button and subscribe. This is Kiddtsa. Stay green.